think that is good for us. And from here, we are all of us going to answer these questions with the clarity that is required, because as an organization, that is the National Police Service, we want to know those who committed these offenses, and we want to see them before a court of law and appropriate measures taken by a court. Because the National Police Service does not study for this. Police cells are safe custodies. They are safe custodies where those who have been found in any way to have contravened the laws are taken to await their day before a court of law. They are not holding facilities where suspects lose their lives. That is the reason why we want to get to know who are these who committed this heinous crime. Now, to go straight to the question that was asked by Honorable Kapodi, the officers who went to arrest the suspects by their names, Mr. Mohammed. So these ones, we are getting the correct names. We have them, but we are going to get them straight. And also, equally, we are also going to get the names of the officer who actually contacted the OCS, because we have everything with us here.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. The names of the arresting officers are as follows: Senior Sergeant Sigei, Sergeant Kirui, PC Kenyoni, PC Rapudo, and PC Mwanzi, all of DCI headquarters, serious crime unit. Honorable Chair, the suspect was arrested from Homa Bay County and straight away driven to Nairobi and booked at Central Police Station. Honorable Chair, the time of the booking was 21:32 hours. Vide OB 1360706 of 2025. And after the officers delivered the suspect to Central Police Station, the assignment of the booking and capturing that information in the digital OB was done by the report office personnel. And in this case, the details of the officer who made the entry was none other than one number 86999, PC Constable Mohammed Rashid Hilo Abdullahi. And in the digital booking, Honorable Chair, is a description. And he said, now, Senior Sergeant Sigei Sergeant Kirui, PC Kenyoni, PC Raputo, and PC Mwanzi, all of DCI Headquarters Serious Crime, now booking a male suspect, namely Albert Omondi Ojwang, to be charged with the offense of false publication, and is placed in cells by PC Mukwana, appearing normal. And that's very clear. Time 21:32. And down below, you will find this small item on parties involved. No party was involved in this entry. Means this entry was solely made by the report office personnel. Now, Honorable Chair, the statement the IG gave on the aspect of the suspect having, hitting himself on the wall. And basically, the Inspector General relied honestly on the information that he received from the station. Why am I saying that? If you go to the digital OB entry again, of this is OB 9 of 8/6/2025 at 01:35 hours. The same PC Mohammed Hilo Abdullahi again made an entry in the occurrence book. What did he say? Now, due to Officer IP Nganga and the cell sentry, PC Kimani, have visited the cells and found, and I'm reading verbatim,
you have the extract of the OB, the one you are referring to.
Yes, we have.
You can supply the same to us.
Yeah. I'm just reading for purpose of the Hansard.
Okay.
And have found most of them well, apart from the last cell where he found a prisoner, namely Albert Omondi Ojwang, who was alone in his cells, making a lot of noise while kicking the cell walls. That was now the information basically relayed to the Inspector General, which informed. This was,
as per the OB.
As per the OB, this was 01:35.
01:35. Which date? That is
8th.
8th. That's the 8th, eh?
Yes. Made by the same report office personnel. PC Mohammed Hilo Abdullahi. This was 01:35. And then who contacted the OCS?
Before we go there,
yeah.
That is how many hours from when was admitted? Or the last OB, when it was reported to be, everybody was well?
It's also about kicking the walls.
Yeah.
It's not knocking the wall with your head.
It's okay. Let's not, just before, don't just answer me. From the last OB, when there was recorded that everybody was well.
21:32. 21:32.
Then, so that is exactly how many hours? 4 hours? 4 hours. Quick calculation, members. From 2:32 to exactly 4 hours. 4 hours. So now the evil had happened within the span of these hours.
Yeah.
Just clarification also. Can we get the OB number that was recorded?
Number, I'd actually ask them to supply us the extract of what they're reading.
For purpose
That
of the Hansard as he was doing, because he's talking about the two PCs visiting and finding this man kicking the walls at 01:35 hours.
Yes.
According to what was read earlier, he was found unconscious at 01:39, 4 minutes later. That's why I'm asking, what was the OB?
135.
01:35,
Yeah.
and then we can also get now the OB at what?
OB number 9 of 8/6/2025.
When he was, according to what he has been supplied, where is this? When he was found unconscious, at which time was this?
1:39, Chair.
39. No.
Could probably read the next.
The early
the
morning,
next, the next
it was
OB
reported
after
that by officer manning the report desk, they found Mr. Albert unconscious at cell during a routine visit. He was rushed, which time? Because this is still 8th. Yeah, 0. That is 1:39.
minutes later. That's what I'm saying. Probably he can read the next OB.
Chair, can I take you back
I'm not
again?
carrying.
Let me ask you before Ngeleche, this is the same Police Constable Muhammad Rashid Hilo, who reported at some point as per the OB to be the suspect well. Later, that is at 21:32. Then at 1:35, he was now reporting that to be kicking the wall. Then now, in the early morning, during the routine, are you getting checked? Meaning, there was nothing being suspicious or suspected. It was just normal routine. Where Mr. Albert Ojwang, in the early morning of the 8th, it was reported by the officers now, there's no name, manning the report desk at Central Police Station that they found Mr. Albert Ojwang unconscious at the cell during a routine visit. And this is now indicated morning, and it is routinal. 4 minutes, as per the sequence, it's like 4 minutes. Let's be honest, guys. You say you found somebody kicking the walls, then as per the OB, it's just a span of 4 minutes. Then you indicate here again during the routine, as if that by the time people are going during the routine, it's like they were not suspecting anything. Everybody was well. So just come clean on that bit. And Angelica, you had something?
Before that one, there's also the OB number 136/07/06/2025 that is indicating 21:35 hours. But from what the DIG read is 21:32, a difference of 3 minutes. For avoidance of doubt, and also, in this case, every minute counts, it is good and clear if you make a clarification whether it's 21:35 or 21:32. Thank you.
Let me.
Chair, for avoidance of confusion, or for proper reporting, especially on issues of crime, there need to be consistency. So the IG team should be, when they are using date, time, let it be consistent from the word go, that's such a time, because we want to find out at what time did Albert leave Mawego police station, because he arrived at 21:17. So we want to know at what time did he leave Mawego police station, so that we can collect the hours between Mawego and Nairobi. Then 2, was the digital recording of the OB at Mawego and all the police stations, because that one will help us to know, because with the digital you can't interfere with. But Chairman, my concern on this, before I ask any other question, is that the IG team need to be consistent on time. Let them not report some on dates and they leave the time. Because, for example, the last bit of it, after it was booked on OB number 090825 at 0:39 hours. Unfortunately, he was declared dead upon arrival. We need the time. At what time was he confirmed dead at Mbagathi? We'll now check between 1:39 hours at the police station and Mbagathi. That will really help us. At what time exactly was he pronounced dead at Mbagathi Hospital, Chairman? Chairman, I've looked at all these things, reasons why I want the timing. The IG complained on 4th. There was no time. The OB, there is no time. A team was assembled. There is no time. This team went to Vigilant House to take statement. There is no time. The same team wrote to CAK the same day. There is no time. The same CAK responded to this team the same day, no time. Therefore, we need to know, on this 4th, all these activities, if they wrote to CAK, was it electronic or was it manual? If the CAK responded to them, was it electronic or was it manual? And the timing, because that 4th, a lot of activity took place. Okay, Chair. Then, on the same 4th, the DIG went to DCIO. He recorded the statement. We need that time, and the time taken by the DCI to assemble the team. Because you can't assemble the team the same time, and in no minute you are at the CAK, and in no minute you are... So those timing are very important.
In the report, they say that the team from DCI came to record a statement at DIG.
Yes.
But I believe, IG, you are getting what he's saying. We need to look at that consequent time. That at what time what happened. See, that sequencing. So that we're able to tell who is telling the truth or where are the omissions. And it's very important.
And, I'm sure there's nothing hard in getting the entire extract of the digital OB, especially considering how weighty this matter is. It's not heavy, especially the few hours in between his admission and the time he was exiting the facility to go to Mbagathi Hospital. Yes.
Time to explain, Honorable Chair.
Just
not please.
just point
no,
Masara.
Masara. Listen, Masara.
It's a bit one, a small
Masara,
one.
listen, please.
Okay.
Unless you are adding to what you did, so that we don't lose also track.
Man,
Yeah,
I'm just adding.
We may.
We are going to lose track.
Yeah, I know, and Masara, that's what I'm asking.
DCI may not answer some of the questions.
I'm just adding on what I've just talked about. Consistency. This particular person arrived in Nairobi Central Police Station at around 21:17. There are things which happened. The OCS was called. Somebody recorded. It took only 18 minutes. Somebody leaving the vehicle, all this. It was 21:17, but it was booked by 21:32. Yes. So those timing.
So that you don't lose track. And take your cool, you mean?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Let me
So
explain
just
to
respond, and I hope you have noted.
Yeah, because most of these things, fortunately, are documented, and the documents can't lie. I have said, Honorable Chair, the deceased left Mawego Police Station at 15:54 hours. He was straight driven to Central Police Station and booked at 21:35 hours. OB number 016/07/08/2025. I have said the details of the officer who made the entry, Mohammed Rashid Hilo Abdullah, of service number 86999, Police Constable. And he confirmed that the suspect was placed in cells by PC Mukwana while appearing normal. I think that is clear so far, Honorable Chair. It has not been indicated, but we can always get it. I'm just reading the extract from the digital OB.
So for record and for the media purposes and even for the rest, as per the record and your own submission,
Correct.
under oath,
Yes.
the deceased was presented to the Central Police Station in normal state, physically.
Yes, as per this,
Yes.
and it is very, very clear.
Okay. We picked that.
While
We picked that.
appearing normal.
Yes.
And we are going to
Of course, he's not a doctor, I know, but appearing normal.
Exactly.
Okay.
You can know who has been physically
And that is
tortured.
when you contacted the wife to
Exactly.
confirm his arrival.
Exactly. No,
Okay.
just before that.
Yes.
About 8 minutes before that.
Okay.
So that is documented, and we can provide an extract of that. Then come to 01:35 hours of 8th now. OB9. The same PC Mohammed Rashid Hilo Abdullahi made an OB entry in the digital occurrence book, and where he stated, and I will repeat, now Duty Officer IP Nganga and the cell sentry PC Kimani have visited the cells and found most of them well. Apart from the last cell, there was a spelling mistake when he wrote the word apart. He wrote apeton. The last cell where he found a prisoner, namely Albert Omondi Ojwang, who was alone in his cells, making a lot of noise while kicking the cell walls. This is an extra from the digital OB. It cannot be manipulated, and it cannot be changed or altered. Now, I was looking for, Honorable Chair, a correspondence from the Baghdadi Hospital, but I should be getting it shortly. But we received a letter from Baghdadi Hospital confirming that the deceased was brought to that facility at around 2 a.m. while already dead. So I was trying to look for that document, but I should be able to avail to the committee before we end this session. On the A, no. Oh, A. You see this entry was 01:35? Yeah. The morning hours. So, who contacted the OCS? The OCS was contacted by Senior Sergeant Sigay of DCI headquarters. Someone might ask the Honorable Chair, why was it really necessary? Why did the Senior Sergeant Sigay contact the OCS? In the past, the station commanders have had serious issues, particularly when it comes to admitting of persons who have been physically tortured or persons who are sick or are not appearing well. So, more often than not, the report office personnel and the cell center will insist before any person is admitted, they will need a concurrence from the OCS. And there's no way a report office personnel would admit somebody in custody, somebody who is physically injured or appears to have been physically injured or has evidences of torture. And it is on the basis of that, and after confirming the physical condition of the prisoner, that the OCS now directed the report office personnel and the cell center to make sure the prisoner was booked. And that's how PC Mohammed booked the prisoner while appearing physically fit. There was the question of caving, the status of caving.
You go past there.
Yes.
from your own, what you're reading,
Yeah.
is like, okay, the deceased was alone in his cell.
From what I'm reading.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
And he was admitted well in a separate cell, alone.
From what I'm reading.
And he was found kicking walls in a cell as alone. And, of course, died while, he was then, of course, taken to the hospital, now unconscious, in a room that he was alone.
As regards Kevin, who was earlier on arrested, investigations were conducted, Honorable Chair, and as I explained, the file was forwarded to the DPP, who were directed that we needed to cover some outstanding areas, which we are working on. And in view of that development, the suspect was released and an appropriate entry made at Capitol Hills Police Station, and he was handed over to a person we believe was his wife by the name Evelyn Makendo, who countersigned on the remarks column of the Capitol Hills Police Station, Okarisburg. So that suspect has been procedurally released. As to the remaining others, we have not arrested them, and we don't know where they are. Yes,
Chair, am I in order to ask something? I said these must be the suspects that were been mentioned by Kevin, and they must be among the 4, isn't it? I think it's so strange that you tell us that Albert was arrested and eventually lost his life, but the other suspects who were mentioned in the same breath with him, you're telling us you don't even know where they are, you've not even looked for them. Why was it important that Albert had to be looked for if they had committed the same crime with the people you are telling us you don't know where they are and you've not looked for them?
Honorable Chair, I think the honorable member is putting words into my mouth. I did not say that we did not look for them. I did say that. The first person we arrested was Kevin. We interviewed Kevin, and Kevin disclosed Albert and the rest. So the officers proceeded and arrested Albert while in Migori. The next logical course of action before this incident happened was for the officers now to go and look for the remaining. So it was being done, the investigation was being done systematically and not in a helter-skelter manner. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm sorry that I'm taking too much time on this.
It's okay, but I think it responded.
Yes, no.
That of the 4,
We've been mentioned as having committed the same crime. We are 4 of us. I would have expected that we are all brought in at the same time, but that didn't happen. Albert was brought in. So how many days has passed since Albert was brought in that the other people are still hanging out?
That's not your observation on that.
For
but
the
I
same
think
crime.
It's okay, Rosa. The IG, the DCI had responded to that there are 4 suspects, 2 had been interviewed, including the one who is deceased. On the reason why, who started first, who was taken in first, just hold.
Chair, it's only Albert who was interviewed. The other one is the one who reported the other 4.
Please.
Now I'm just making a correction.
It's okay.
Kevin is the one who mentioned the other 4. So he has been acquitted, he's been released. But of the other 4 that were mentioned, it was only Albert who had been called and interrogated and obviously has died.
Okay.
The other 3 have not appeared yet.
I think you had made your point that you had 4 mentioned, including Albert, who is deceased. The one was interviewed, the rest you were to go to interview the rest. I think you made it clear. Yeah. The reason why this started first, I think we can. How many other questions pending? Is already one. Midday. The question from the rest of members, kindly, because we still have a power to come in. Respond to Sigei, Ngeleche. I'll give you. So let's exhaust the question that were earlier asked by members. And that's why I was like, I don't want them to lose the track of the questions. I think Nyeleche did ask a question.
Questions were not answered, so I hope they'll be answered. Because I asked IG, why isn't it important that the DIG should step aside to allow for effective and meaningful investigations to go on?
Well, it's okay. I'm sure they are noting. But now let's also understand that we need to give them time. Yeah. If we keep every other time, then we may lose track of the question.
In fact, Chairman.
And even the rest of members have not even asked questions. Yes, please, Buyu. So please, IG or DIG, you respond to the rest of members so that we take the last round, so that we get also IPOA in. I had mentioned earlier that we need to have a bit of a report to be submitted to Parliament in the noon before the budget is read. Even part of what I think.
A small and follow-up question on those ones who have not been arrested, because this was a crime committed. Now, do you intend to pursue the remaining 3 for arrest? Because you cannot suspend because of what has happened.
The DCI has clearly stated that all of them are on queue. So I believe that he is still going on and to get the rest. Then there was this question about the officers who are on duty at the Central Police Station then, and why they were interdicted. I did that to allow, and I did indicate from the word go that myself as the Inspector General and the leadership of the police, and even the entire National Police Service, we are very much interested to get to know who are these, or who is this who committed this heinous crime. For that reason, the officers who are on duty at that particular time, when the late Albert Ojwang was brought in, were interdicted to pay way for the investigations, which we want to be done expeditiously. All of us, the Kenyan people, are interested to get to know. So basically that is the reason why these are the people, the officers who are on duty, they step aside to allow for that investigation. And that is exactly what happened, because they were there when all these issues that we are discussing here happened. Thank you, Chair. There was this question about the CCTV footage. Yes, at the Central Police Station, we have CCTV. Currently, as I did indicate, the investigations are ongoing, being carried out by the IPOA. While we were at Senate yesterday, it was mentioned that the power of one of the CCTVs had actually been plucked off. However, the experts are looking at the hard drive and to reconstruct everything. So I believe we are also going to get a lot of information. The investigators are going to get a lot of information from the CCTV. And number 2, we're also going to get to know who is this that unplugged the power from the power source. So all that is subject to that investigation that is currently ongoing. The question by Honorable Losabuyu on do you think DIG KBS should step aside to allow for investigations?
The urgency of sending these officers to go to Migori, Homa Bay, Was it discussed before rushing to arrest? I think I asked the question.
Yeah, Honorable Chair, there was actually no special agency in terms of the investigations of this matter. Like I said, there was no preferential treatment accorded to the complainant whatsoever. This was a complaint raised. It was a complaint touching on the integrity of a person none other than the Deputy Inspector General, KPC, Kenya Police Service. So there was no special agency where we feel that...
Maybe this year, while you're on that point, was this complaint raised verbally or it was a written complaint that we should actually have before us to actually confirm for ourselves that as a Kenyan he had the right to complain, but it must be there for you to take all that action which you have tried to explain to us.
Was a written complaint, Honorable Chair, which at the end of this session we'll be glad to share with the committee. Otherwise, in our service standing orders, unlike all other cases, we always emphasize on the need to expedite our investigations. And that is part of our performance contract, that we urge our officers to make sure that all cases reported must, in as much as possible, be expedited. But like I said, we did not accord the matter of DIG Lagat any special preference. As regards what I mentioned, Honorable Chair, the letter from the medical officer Mbagathi County Hospital, we received the letter dated 8th of June 2025. Name Albert Ojwang Omondi, gender male. The above named patient brought in by policemen from Central Police Station at about 2 a.m. On examination, he was unresponsive, no spontaneous breathing, no cardiac activity. The entire body was cold, face swollen, multiple bruises, scalp cut on the parieto-occipital region, and had bruises on the limbs. The patient brought in dead, notification of death form, field policemen advised to go to Kenyatta National Hospital Police Station and to City Mortuary thereafter. Signed by Dr. Shah Mitari, Medical Officer, Mbagathi County Hospital. Thank you.
The letter. So members, the three questions you from LHA, it was actually one question. I actually did ask even personally also whether this patient was really picked up on Friday or Saturday, because what the father said is totally opposite of what the police reported. Saturday or Friday?
The occurrence book, Honorable Chair, where we entered the arrest of Albert Ojwang at the Mawego Police Station, and when he was transported from Mawego to Central Police Station, we have all the relevant occurrence book and we shall provide the extracts. Thank you.
Chair, I think one of my questions has not been answered. I asked him if the officer manning the report office desk, the name of the officer who is said to have reported in the morning about Albert, if it was the same PC Mohammed Rashid Hilo, or it was a different officer. And then another question, the reason as to why I was asking why the officers who have been suspended is because yesterday at the Senate, DCI Amin said that CI Talam was a suspect. So I wanted actually to know if indeed they are somewhere in the investigation and they are already having leads on who would be involved, or it was because they wanted non-interference from the officers of the station.
Chair, also on the omission.
Respond. Hold on, Masara. Straightforward, either Min or IG. Question?
I can maybe attempt to why I said that the OCS is the principal suspect, Honorable Chair. The allegation of the deceased, Albert, banging his head on the wall came from Central Police Station, and he is the officer commanding Central Police Station. Why would an officer coin such a narrative? That's why I said, whatever utterances the OCS Talam is making, we should treat them with a pinch of salt. I've not said that he's an accused person, but we should treat him as a suspect, because why would somebody coin that allegation? Thank you.
Chair.
And of course, I think that is also in line with the Act and the role and the powers of the OCS. I mean, the Act put a lot of responsibility and power on the OCS in regards to suspects or any person presented to the cell.
Chair.
He is entirely responsible.
Chair.
So we are going to take the other round.
No, my question
The IG was just about to respond to my question about the
order,
DIG.
Chair. A point of order, Chair. Chair, we are stuck on
order. That's what I've been asking for.
We are stuck on 4 questions asked by 4 members, or questions asked by 4 members for all this time, and time is running out. When are we going to get chances also to inquire? And some of the questions are really opinion questions which would rather be asked to the right people.
The IG was just about to answer my question before you started.
Okay, answer on the question of Buirosa. But hold, Buirosa, please. Yes, and then Kangara, then we take the last round, starting from our colleagues.
As not,
you talked about the sequence of time.
The 4th, when, at what time did the IG complain to DCI? At what time did they form the committee? At what time did they write to come and took a statement from DIG? And then at what time they report to CAK?
Okay. They have promised to supply us with a sequence recorded. I think that's what you said, if I got it right.
Honorable Chair, investigations...
And then, in dates or gaps, it will be up to us now to make a ruling and observation on that one. So it's not a big deal. I think that's what you said.
That's what I said, Honorable Chair. Thank you so much.
You are going to have your moment, based on what is provided, to make observation and recommendation. Any gaps, then of course we'll also have opinion. You'll make an opinion on the same. So before we give you Kangara, then what about respond to what Buirosa is asking?
There are 2 questions from Honorable Lusabuyu. Number 1, the reason why the people of Kenya should believe that what we are telling this committee is believable. Let me start by saying that, as I did say yesterday, the primary information that we got that early morning of Sunday is that the late Ojwang had hit his head on the walls. And based on that, the first statement was issued based on that information. And it is for that reason the DCI have stated very clearly why is it that this OCS prepares and dispatches such an information. What was his interests? So it is on that basis that the DCI has mentioned. And on my part, and on behalf of the National Police Service, and to the people of Kenya, yesterday I said, I'm very sorry for that initial information that was provided to the people of Kenya. I still remain sorry, and the National Police Service remains sorry for that. That is our position. Number two, this is about the DAG stepping aside to allow for investigations. Only this one. There is an ongoing investigation by APO. And in these investigations, every person whose name will be mentioned is to have played any role that led to the death of the late Albert Ojwang must record his statement, must show his side. And it is on that basis, I believe, if the DAG is going to be mentioned, then definitely you will read the statements, and I believe it's on that basis that now he can be able to step aside to allow for that completion of that investigation. My submission, Honorable Chair.
Kangara's question? Did you ask a question? Okay, just before you do, I think kindly members, it's already 1:15 midday, and we still have our power. And I'd mentioned that we need to at least have a bit of report ready to be tabled in the House. So let's have another round, starting from the Senior Counsel, Kaluma. We go to Kangara, and our brother, who I think, did you introduce yourself even? Okelo.
Honorable Chair, honorable members, my name is Jared Okelo, Member of Parliament for Nyando constituency. I am here as a friend of the committee who asked on behalf of the Kabondo Kasipul Member of Parliament the questions that have necessitated the presence of the officers here. I thank you.
So, Liz Chelule.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. And sorry for coming late. I am Liz Chelule, County MP, Nakuru, and committee
Let's
member.
have a question from the three members. Kaluma, Kangara, Gerald, do you have a question? Of course. Then I think we'll be trying to, let's go to be a bit precise.
Chair, the gravity of this matter cannot be overemphasized. It's a very serious thing and overwhelming. And my prayer would be that the National Police Service takes it as grave as we do and as Kenyans do. And therefore, Chair, I wanted to request that where you mentioned to us, police officers who could have handled this Kenyan in any way, let us get their service numbers. This is in respect of all arresting officers or any of these officers, even the OCS Talam. We don't have their service numbers, so provide that. Also, Chair, where we have any references to documents so that we are able to, reconcile times and who could have been involved, let us have those records. Whether it is OB, let us have those records remain here permanently so that we can seal any material coming forth during the process of these investigations from, any possible claims in future of interferences with the records. But, Honorable Chair, allow me therefore to ask the following now direct questions. We've been told that several officers were tasked to do this thing. In the course of arrest, there are officers now being involved other than those indicated to have been put into the team. And these officers are Sergeant Senior Sergeant Sigei, he was not in the team initially put to investigate this matter. Sergeant Korir and PC Rapudo. Maybe a clarification on at what stage they were involved and with what particular role to undertake in the process. Number two, Chair, which officers among the arresting officers traveled with Citizen Albert Ojwang to Nairobi? Number three, which officers handed him over to the police station for reporting, which you indicate was done by PC Mohammed Ilo Abdullahi? Lastly, Chair,